What's up, guys? HTG Brian here, and we are back with more LEGO Indiana Jones. This is the Temple of Doom, Chapter 4, Free the Slaves, Free Play. We're going to get that true adventure of 65K. We're going to get all 10 of those mini-kits, as well as the character studs red parcel brick. We're going to do that by jumping into the free play section of Free the Slaves, which is part of the second movie. We'll go ahead and queue it up and let the game select our characters for us. If you've been following along, you should have everybody we need. And with that being said, let's go ahead and take flight. Literally, as we're going to switch on over to a female character to jump way up high and grab these bouncing bricks to build them into a nice handheld. And real quick reminders here, don't forget to turn on your stud brick multiplier, as well as don't forget we have quick links down below in the video description. So if you're in a hurry, like maybe you only need that red brick, go ahead and use those quick links down below to quickly get to them. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and smash through everything around here. We're going to actually use Indy's Whip-It pad to go ahead and lift up this ledge over here. That'll give us access to this next ledge, which actually has the second box we need to grab and drop it like it's hot on the old base plate here. Well, the right base plate, the one with the arrow on it. There we go, Brian. We'll go ahead and build those bouncing bricks up into the rest of what we needed to go ahead and send that minecart down the tracks to go ahead and blast through the back. And that'll give us access into a new area, which we'll get to in a hot second. But before we do that, we're going to switch on over to our Rocketeer here. We're going to get our blast on. We're going to do our best. Well, that didn't last very long. We're going to do our best to try not to explode ourselves, as there is a hazard with this bazooka tube. But we'll go ahead and make our way all the way to that back right corner and grab that bluesy before we make our way and smash through those boxes and grab the rope to get across the first pit of lava. That's right. Now on the left-hand side, we're going to use that handheld to get that blue stud, but really we want to go ahead and get to somebody so small that'll switch through that hole in the wall there, and we'll go ahead and sneak up top and grab the first of 10 mini-kits. Woo to the hoop! All right, bazooka tube down. That's number 2. Let's not do a death counter, because I will not. It'll not do me well. Oh, come on. That's 3 already. Hey, wait. I said no death counter. All right, on the right-hand side of this new area we're in, as we get attacked over and over and over again, we're going to want to switch to a thuggy character to go ahead and worship that giant statue there, which is going to crumble to pieces and give us a nice little boost up top where we can grab a couple of bluesies and a mini-kit too. Now, on the left, you probably saw that blue. You thought I was going to forget about it, didn't you? Wap, wap, wow. Nope, we're actually going back for it. We want to make sure we get that because we're actually trying to get to that 2 million overall studdage so we can buy that 4x red brick, which will give us that 8 times multiplier once we turn it on with the 2x. So that's good. And then we won't have to worry about studs. No more grinding, no more smashing everything. It'll just kind of happen naturally with the times 8. But, yeah, speaking of naturally, you're going to want to use the Indy Whip-It pad to go ahead and jump up back there. I'm a little behind now, but that's okay. You guys saw what I did. It was easy peasy. Just simply build a handheld and jump up and grab it. Now, smash through everybody else and everything else. Make sure you switch to somebody small and go through the hatch on the right, which will allow you to flip the lever and access the next room. Now, this is where the real pain in the tuchus begins. We're going to switch to Indy and go ahead and whip across this nice little chasm here. And in the back, we've got a wall that we're going to smash through. But first, we're going to bust this box on the right and go ahead and spin to win and drop that piece across the chasm. Look at that. It comes right back. Thank you very much. We're going to switch to our Rocketeer and blast through the back there with a bazooka tube. It's going to give us access to a red brick. Now, there's also a purple stud there, but we'll go ahead and... Apparently, we can't grab it with the old red brick in hand, so we'll slap it on the old... I guess it's a little mini conveyor belt, and look at that. We spin to win. It goes over there. We can go grab that purple and get that true adventurer. Nice one. All right, this is probably my least favorite part of the level. You have to play a game of Whip It Good, and it's a very careful game. Now, I'm going to recommend you do one at a time. I prove that it can be done, doing both of them at once. But here's what could happen. If you place it in the wrong place, you could fall off, and it could drop the brick. Or even worse, you could slap the red brick right down on top of this other piece of machinery here. And it'll explode the red brick again, and you'll have to go all the way back and grab. No, thank you. So I just recommend doing one at a time. I know it takes a little bit more to go ahead and jump back and forth, but I think in the end it'll likely pay off because you won't have a chance of dropping it. Well, not as high of a chance, I'll say that. Now, there's also a mini kit down below. Feel free to go ahead and grab that now if you want. We're going to get it after we complete this red parcel brick because we want to make sure that the mini kit links, the quick links down below, match up and they're not all confusing. We try to get them all in order without any kind of overlap just because it makes it easy for you guys to follow along. All right, so we've officially got it all the way over. We did put that machinery piece that we found across the other chasm by the red brick there. We also fixed it using our wrench character, which gave us access up top, and we can go ahead and deploy it. Now we've got that character, studs, red brick ready for purchase in the mail room. So, hey, before moving on, if you didn't drop down and grab this mini kit, you're going to want to do that. So we'll go ahead and switch characters. You'll find that switching characters at certain times in this level is super handy, although it only saves you a second or two here and there. They do add up by the end. Now, I also want to add something very important, too. For the first time in LEGO history, I've actually found a very noticeable difference between the Xbox version and the PlayStation version. Now, in both versions, you need to free the slave up top, and he goes through the hatch and actually flips the lever that opens that door. Now, in this next room, there is a puzzle. You can see on the left-hand side, there's a green base plate. We need to find the switch for that. Now, in the PlayStation version, it's actually in the room we just left over on the right-hand side under the bridge, right where the cage is, where we free that slave. But in the Xbox version, it's back over here. So I know a lot of you that play on the PlayStation are not following along and playing because there's no trophies. And I know that a lot of you on the Xbox are because there are achievements. So it's important to know where both of those are just in case you are on the PlayStation side. It is in the other room. It is the exact same switch. It's just in a different box in the last room. So kind of odd. I've never seen anything like that. I know that the DS versions and stuff have some different, but never have I seen it between Xbox and PlayStation. Or even the Switch had, or I guess it was the Wii U and the Nintendo versions were different than the PlayStation and Xbox due to some copyrighted stuff using Mario and whatnot, but I've never seen it between any other game, so. Hey, we were talking about some Easter eggs or other rollovers, crossovers, if you will. Check this out. We're going to drop down onto this ledge. This is not important as far as the collectibles go. And I still haven't figured out what is going on. I think there's just 5 Easter eggs of Star Wars in throughout here. Again, both George Lucas films, Indiana Jones and the Star Wars. But I'm still not sure. It shows us 4 of 5. There doesn't seem to be an achievement for finding all of them. I would imagine it has something to do with the 100%. Oh, and look at this. What is going on here? What? Like, seriously, what the? So frustrating. I mean, you know me, got to get them all, and that counts as one of them all. I mean, I guess I missed a silver one or two there too, but anyways, odd stuff for sure. But hey, nobody's dropped a comment down below letting me know what those 5 Easter eggs for the Star Wars are. I mean, we've already found R2, we found Chewie, we found Leia, and we've also found Luke. So, interesting. I know that the next level will probably have the final one. Maybe not. We'll see. All right, you guys saw us. We smashed that brown barricade back down below on the far right, and we actually grabbed a handheld piece, just like we got in our hand right now. We placed it on a little staircase thing there, pulled it out. We're going to go ahead and dig the other handheld up so we can place it there and free the slaves up top. We're going to switch then to a thuggy character and worship that statue as it will go ahead and destroy itself. It's like a Mission Impossible. This statue will self-destruct in 3 seconds. And look at that. It actually left some Minikit behind. So go ahead and use a female character to jump up top in the newly found area that we actually freed them slaves from. And we'll go ahead and grab the blue cogwheel, and we'll take it all the way over to the far right next to that blue stud that was giving us some, it was teasery is what it was. Like, come on. And we'll go ahead and slap it down, take out the bad guy, and of course switch to our wrench-wielding character, or simply grab the wrench in the far right front side of the screen there, and we go ahead and fix that. It blows itself up too, kablooey. We go ahead and get that Minikit. Now, again, I don't have the attract studs yet, so unfortunately it doesn't just automatically slurp in, but we'll go ahead and take everything else out in our frustration and try to get them all. Now, up top, we're going to get up here and find a few boxes to take down. And then we're going to go ahead and switch to somebody small. Go through the hatch. And up top, we find ourselves some blues, a purple, and a Minikit too. Probably the most important part of it all. Now, I am just on a stud grind here. I wanted to make sure that by the time we got done with this level that we did have 2 million studs. So when we start the next free play level, that we can go ahead and purchase that 4x red brick that I've been talking about. So As it turns out, we are roughly about 140,000, I think, or something like that away, and we've got 150, so we're sitting good right now. As soon as we enter the final room here, we're actually going to attack big bad boy here, and he's going to get some help from his little friend up above, so we're going to switch to somebody so smell. Go through one more hatch here. Up top, we're actually going to give him the old pal right in the kissa, and as he runs off, we're going to pay attention to these handhelds on the left. Once we get up there, we're going to actually make our way all the way down and up into this little area where we're going to get the ninth mini kit, as well as a few studs. Now, coincidentally, once we drop down here, we actually switch characters, and our other character stays up top, which is very convenient for later. Meanwhile, we're going to drop down here and dig up the first of 3 skulls. Now, 2 of them are up on this same level. We're actually going to push this all the way down the cart path here, because why not? We need it here in a second, and it's right next to the next skull. So we'll do that, grab that blue stud, give him a couple of shovel whackies, and look at that. We'll get we'll get a little karma in return there. So we go ahead and hit him, and he gets some help from his buddy up top. At the same time, we actually finish digging up that skull, so that's 2 unearthed skulls. The third and final one is going to be on this lower level here. There's lots of stuff to take down, so I'm going to go ahead and get as many of these studs as possible. We're going to dig this guy up, and check it out, the 10th and final mini kit. So, woo to the who, we got them all, and hopefully you do too. You should. We got that red brick earlier, and by now, hopefully you have got that true adventurer status. Now all you have to do is take out the bad guy. I find that the rockets sort of work on him. You can see they work now. He's going to, actually I'm going to toggle up and try to get to the guy who is going to help him out, or not gets blocked off, well, 2 more times actually. And I took a leap of faith there, and I recommend you don't do that, because as you see, it stopped all forward momentum and I fell down. There's a cheese here that you can actually jump up on that and not have to run around, but I was starting to look like a fool, so I just went for the actual, the real way. And then I realized, wait a minute, buddy's already up here? What's he doing up here? So should have just switched characters, and I could have saved myself a little bit of time. But regardless of how you do it, we get all the way over there. We give him that last pow right in the kissa. He takes off. No more help from above. So I'll toggle back down over here, and basically I'm going to do a combination of throwing the dynamite sticks as well as shooting my bazooka tube at him. And basically you just got to deplete that meter. Luckily for me, he only has 3 hearts right now, so I'll go ahead and turf this guy over there. Booyakashow, took out one of them. I switched the 2. I noticed that there was a silver grate back here, and my guide writer Adam didn't make any mention of that, so I went and checked it out. And speaking of which, big shout out to Adam. He did a great job putting together all the collectible locations for me to go ahead and follow through, so I probably haven't praised him enough, but I'll make sure to do that from here on out. And speaking of on out, we are out of here. The character treasure mail has been posted, so that means we got access to go to that mail center, or the inbox, if you will, in the main Hubba Bubba area. And look at that, we've got paid. We got that treasure requirement, or the true adventurer there. That's going to go ahead and stack up. It is confusing that they actually made the mini kits like a golden treasure chest, and then they also call the studs treasure too. Isn't that? I'm glad that they switched that as time went on, because it was a little confusing. We built up all 10 of those mini kits, and we got paid for doing it, so we got a little extra on top of that too, Melski. But hey guys, that is going to officially wrap it up for LEGO Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom, Chapter 4, Free the Slaves, Free Play! Boy, these LEGO Indie videos have pretty long titles with all the movie names and everything. Anyways, check us out on social media if you have not already. HappyThumbsGaming.com is available for your viewing pleasure, including the achievement guide for this game here. Go check it out. As for me, that's going to do it. As always, until next time,